Cox here with the African American Travel Conference. I also have Joe Capizzello. We'd like to share with you our day's event and kind of give a recap. We started out with Globus Family of Brands for breakfast. Joe, you want to kind of share with us what took place at the breakfast?
Absolutely. Globus, longtime sponsor of the African American Travel Conference. They did a great presentation representing all they do, and they travel around the world. Our groups were looking for a lot of international. They go to 70 countries, 6 continents, and they have a trip for everybody. Each price point, they broke it down. It was very easy to understand. Well done presentation.
And they did a very unique offering with river cruising, and there was some buzz going on about that, but they talked about how to make it affordable and dreams come true with payment options and just a way to really make it happen. So I thought that was great, Joe.
No, and that really made it easy for our group leaders to understand and take it back to their groups. And that's the key, is that communication, and Globus does that so well.
Yes, they do. Right after we concluded our breakfast, we had a guest speaker come in, Coach Jimmy Wallace. Why don't you share with us his motivational excitement that he gave to our group?
Jimmy Wallace, what a great, just got us going for the day. He's a legend here in South Carolina, high school football coach, but he's not just a coach. He's there leading these boys into becoming men. He's there as a father figure to them. And he really got our group motivated, talking about life, what your responsibilities are, and just how to take care of your fellow man. And it was really, our group, he had them laughing and crying. It just
Very
was,
inspirational.
and motivated. It just kicked the day off just right.
I agree. Right after we concluded that, we moved into where we get some business done. We had another marketplace floor session. How did that go, Joe?
Unbelievable, Tammy. The conference is going well. Marketplace, all our travel industry have a full set of appointments, and they're booking business. Our group leaders, they travel, and they've been traveling the last few years. Things have been tight economically, but our groups are traveling. They have the time, the money, and desire to do that, and business was being booked on the floor.
Well, that's what's great about dealing with the grassroots of the industry. We get our travel industry right in front of those grassroots, and they make it happen.
Well, Tammy, that's great. Grassroots decision makers. These are the people that decide. There's no in between. These people make the decision, go back to their groups, and get people signed up.
Once we concluded all the business that was being done, everybody entered into a wonderful luncheon, which was hosted by our conference for next year, for 2014.
Yes.
We are going to be going to something unique out of the country, something we've never done before. Joe, why don't you tell us where we're going?
We're going to Windsor, Canada. First time we've been outside the continental United States. Tourism Windsor, Essex, and Peavey Island will be hosting with Caesars Windsor Hotel and Casino. It's going to be a great experience, Tammy. It ties everything together. They're known for so much. They have history there, going back to the War of 1812, to Prohibition. The Underground Railroad is going to be a huge hit. Once they get to Caesars Windsor, the experience is going to be unparalleled. A 4-star property with spa, unique dining experiences, first-class lounges, and entertainment. It's going to be something.
Yeah, everybody here at the conference, I've heard great conversation going on about it. They can't wait to see what they bring to the table. So.
Tammy, we have group leaders coming up to us, these decision makers, saying, when can we sign up? The presentation they did was tremendous. Tourism Windsor is going to be right there with Caesars Windsor. It's going to be outstanding.
Yeah, I agree. Once we concluded with our lunch, we then sent our groups off on a great opportunity to see all that Rock Hill, South Carolina has to offer with some great city sightseeing tours. Why don't you tell us where they went, Joe?
Oh, Tammy, it was great sights they saw. First, historical Brattonsville, which is a plantation, goes back a few hundred years, and they got to hear craftsmen, people talking about life, how it was back at that time. The Carroll School was a 1- to 2-room schoolhouse back in the early 1900s. And then they went to the Catawba Indian Culture Center. Also a great venue, and just giving a flavor for how life was back here in Rock Hill, York County.
Right, and that's one of the great things about hosting a conference is that firsthand experience, getting these groups here to experience it. So Rock Hill did a great job at that, Joe.
What they did was got their partners involved. And it's not just the convention and visitor bureaus, it's the hotels. It's also people who are looking for groups, their attractions. And that's what made it unique and special. They created the experiences. That's the one thing when we put the agenda together we wanted to do. Experience equals memories. Memories brings back talking to their people and bringing groups to this area.
And speaking of experiences and attractions, once we concluded our city sightseeing, we had a great dinner and entertainment last night, specifically at Narrowway Productions. Why don't you tell us what Narrowway is, Joe?
Narrowway is one of the last Christian theaters, all staffed by volunteers, which is their church ministry. It is unbelievable. From young children to the adults, they're all volunteers. The entire cast, everyone out in the concession stand, it's amazing. They bring live animals in, and our members were just amazed by it. Before we even had the play though, we had dinner. That was served by the cast, and it really got our people involved and bought into the whole experience, something they were talking about even this morning at breakfast.
Well, one of the things I heard, they must have some great bread pudding, because they sure did talk about that bread pudding at Narrowway.
Yes, they did.
So it was a great time at Narrowway, and I think the groups had a great experience, and we'll definitely be bringing some groups back here to Rock Hill to.
And yesterday, they got a flavor for the area.
Yes.
They really got a first-hand look at what Rock Hill has to offer, and I know they'll be bringing groups back.
Wonderful. Thank you, Joe, so much for your time.
Thank you, Tammy.